Welcome to the Transform Sales Podcast, where forward-thinking business leaders come to share their experiences and ideas, learn from each other, and amplify their results together.
Hey guys, what's up? Amir Reiter here for another episode of the Transform Sales Podcast. We have the Software Seller Series with my guest, Andres, the Senior Account Executive with Apollo. How's it going, man? How are you?
Going well. How about yourselves?
I'm doing great. For anybody listening, we're going to dive deep into Apollo. I'll get a little general overview, but we were chatting, me, Andres, and he said the background looks familiar. And I said, yes, it's Medellin, Colombia. And Andres is in, where are you, Medellin or Bogota?
I'm in Bogota, an hour north of Bogota.
In a small world, I had to tell Andres how Tim Zhang, their CEO, was with me in Medellin, Colombia. They had some support reps with us when we were a service company, and then pulled them on directly. And since then, I think, I showed Tim what's up in Latin America. He's gone crazy hiring. And Didio Ramos, who is a close friend with our organization, is the VP of HR, and he hired Andres. So I told Andres, I was like, you're working for an awesome company, because I had to drag Tim down here 5 years ago. And we're all connected, but that's a different story. Maybe you can get into just the name of the software and what you guys are going to share with us today when you get a chance.
Yeah, let's go. So I'm going to be sharing a little bit about Apollo.io.
Awesome. And for anybody who doesn't know Apollo, a lot of people do. You guys are doing great. But what does your software help users do that they couldn't do before your software?
It's top of the funnel. We help users find contact information, build pipeline, generate revenue, and then on bottom of the funnel, we help teams record meetings, understand analytics on what AEs are having conversations with other prospects, and increase win rates.
Awesome. Well, and maybe you can tell us a little bit about like your ideal customer for the profile. I know it's big, but what is that 80-20 rule for you guys? Who tend to be the happiest, most satisfied clients of Apollo?
Yeah, so that's changing, but pretty much any business that does B2B, that's very general. I would say most of our customers are SMBs. However, we are growing in the mid-market and enterprise space now.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. You guys compete with ZoomInfo, which is the big guys in the room, so that all makes sense to me.
Yeah, we go up against ZoomInfo every day.
Yeah, and they're for listening. They're the big publicly traded company in the room, and you guys are coming after them hard.
Heck yeah, we are.
How would you say that customers of Apollo, how are they typically measuring success with your product today?
Yeah, I think the main metric is pipeline generation. So how much pipeline are we building? Then that can be broken down into open rates. Those are some areas in which they can measure success. And then, of course, revenue. That's what everyone's looking for.
How do you feel about sharing your screen and showing us Apollo?
Loving it.
Ready?
I can do it every day. Heck yes.
Yeah. Share your screen, show everybody what we can do. And obviously, by the way, guys, I know that Apollo's complex. I know that it's a data tool. It's a sales acceleration tool. It hits a lot of categories. So we're not going to be able to get into all of it today. So I'd love for this to be more like a general overview for those that are new to Apollo, because you guys, are so dominant that I think I would say that 80% of the B2B world probably knows about you guys already. Good job with that.
Yeah, no. We got some awesome marketing hires that came in at the beginning of the year, and we've been buzzing since then. And
Daniel's doing an awesome job in the community. I'm in your community as well, but that's a whole different story. But I'll let you go.
Okay. Yeah. So high level overview. So Apollo is going to be working as a sales intelligence software. And the first use case would be connecting your CRM. Once you connect your CRM, Apollo can do several things. But the most important one is it can keep your data up to date. We all know B2B space, if your data is not good, your go-to-market's not going to be good either. So once you connect your data, Apollo's
going to give you... add to that, right? For anybody listening, not only would your go-to-market not be good, but your mechanism to go-to-market would be bad, because if you are sending emails that bounce or bad data, you might get a lower Centra score, and that's a whole different topic. But it's not only can your go-to-market be bad, but your tools to go-to-market could be hurt and dampened, right? It's a big point to add.
And then also the time wasted, like if an SDR is prospecting inaccurate data, that in itself is a huge time waste, usually wasting up to an hour a day just acting on bad data. So yeah, spot on there. So once we get into Apollo into the data health center, we'll let you know which contacts within your CRM have changed jobs, which contacts are missing emails. You can view your total addressable market. And the nice thing about this is you can schedule enrichments, or you can have automatically enrichments within Apollo so that your data is always up to date.
Yeah. So this is something that as a user I didn't know about, right? This is a new feature. When did this feature come out?
This came out like 6 months ago, a little over 6 months ago.
I didn't even know that. So anybody watching, basically, now you're getting also into data cleanup, right? Which is a big industry. I think Ringlead, I know I'm good friends with John Costoros, was sold to ZoomInfo. And you guys didn't have to do any acquisitions to clean data. You just built it right into your platform, which is awesome. And that's something that I'm going to look into after this, but keep going.
Yep. And the nice thing about this is that this can all be updated automatically. So once teams set up their own personas based on specific account segments, industry, revenue, employee size, we can automatically create lists of contacts that meet that criteria for SDRs or AEs to prospect. So that's pretty neat. And then once you have clean data, then you can start prospecting. And you go into the magnifying glass and you can prospect both people or companies. Tap into our over 270 million contacts. And this is where I like to talk about what makes our data different. Because, everyone sells data. Everyone says they have the best data. However, because we have the prospecting tool and the engagement tool built into one, and we have over 1.6 million users that are weekly actively prospecting from any of our them into sequences, our algorithm is built so that we can, once an email sent and it bounces, we can update the whole database. If someone
it's almost like user-generated experience where as people are working and using the data, you're also updating, change email, change jobs. So it's the more people use it, the cleaner the data is, right?
Correct. And that's kind of our secret sauce within it. And that's what ensures 90 to 95% data accuracy and our data being refreshed on a daily basis. Once you're here, you can.
This also has a look and feel of like Sales Navigator, right? The only difference is that in Sales Navigator, you might be able to do a list and do messages directly, but this is getting the email address, the mobile phone number, and the LinkedIn if you don't want it, right? So this gives you the ability to take more actions with more channels, right? And it's also probably a look and feel of like, most databases. But the big thing here is that not only do you have the data, but you also have the tools, meaning that a user of ZoomInfo might have to take that data, extract it, and then import it into an Outreach or a Sales Loft, where here you don't have to export it. You could export it to clean it, something that I do personally, but you could also just add it right to a sequence or a list for people to take action on, right?
Yep, correct. You're spot on.
I use it every day. I'm not only a partner, but I'm a client. It's like the Hair Club for Men commercial.
Yeah, no, I'm glad you are. And then, like you mentioned, a lot of the filters that you can find in SalesNav, you can also filter based on your stages or your ownership within Salesforce. So if you set up this filter based on the accounts that I own, go target specific personas. I target sales and RevOps. And then I apply the filters, and Apollo is letting me know, hey, these are 971 contacts that work for the accounts that were assigned to you in your Salesforce. I can select the people and enroll them into sequences. We also have buying intent data, industry, technographic information. So if you're prospecting for companies that are utilizing Salesforce or WooCommerce or Shopify, you can bring that data in here, and we can help you leverage it. Once you've built a list, pretty straightforward. Select the contacts that you want to request their information for. You can access their email, access their phone number, and this is where efficiency comes into play, and roll them into a sequence directly from here.
That makes a lot of sense. Tell me a little bit about signals. How do signals work? Is that like an intent data product that you guys have as well?
Correct. So you can configure your own signals for that takes into consideration data from your CRM, but it can also be intent signals created by buying intent within the platform. But that also includes, here, let me bring that filter. It can also include signals like, hey, an account that you're prospecting just signed a new client or built a new partnership or had a merger or an acquisition. So these signals are completely customizable, and you can also bring in signals from your own CRM to prospect.
Awesome. So you guys continue to expand and develop just on the quality of the content itself. It's user updated, user generated. The more people send emails, the more it knows that an email is bad or valid, right? So it's a user generated system. And then you're also bringing in signals and buyer intent, and then you could take action in it right away, which is awesome. What's next? what's next for us to show? That's next on the roadmap.
Yeah, so I'll jump into one of the favorites within SDR and AE teams, being able to prospect directly from LinkedIn or SalesNav, being able to find contacts, emails, and phone numbers. But then the nice thing is you can call them directly from here with our dialer. So you don't have to jump into another engagement platform. You can just call them into sequences within LinkedIn as well.
So for everyone watching, you're able to take action on contacts within Apollo, but you're also able to take action on contacts within LinkedIn Navigator without the feeling that you're in a different platform. You can add them to sequence. You can call them right from in the platform. And it's funny, if I shared my screen now with LinkedIn, I would have that same little yellow tag on the right, which is the Google Chrome profile. I use it all the time. And to mention to people watching, because I know that I've done this, you have the data that's in Apollo, right? But if you build a list in Navigator, and Apollo may not have that contact, but you built it in Navigator, you can then pull it in from Navigator into Apollo and have it enriched, correct?
Correct. You can add them into listen to your
feature that I love.
Yeah. It's definitely a user favorite to be able to bring the list from SalesNav into Apollo and have.
Yeah, personally, we've been using Apollo internally for the last 5 years. I haven't had a need for another a data company or outreach because you guys just kind of have it all in one. And I don't want to act like I'm biased. I do believe that there's lots of amazing data providers out there and tools. I can't use them all, so this is just one that I happen to use, so I know a little bit more. But yeah, so you can take all the action in there. You can add them all to a list. You can add it all to a sequence, right? And then you can call them if you want right there. So it allows teams it allows more alignment for sales and marketing, where you can do company-wide sales and SDRs can do account-based sales basically at the same time.
Correct. And all of that information would be recorded on your CRM as well.
Yeah,
so
that makes a lot of
any manual input of data.
And I saw also for anybody, you guys integrate natively with Salesforce and HubSpot, correct?
Correct. And also Drive integration is coming up soon.
And then you also integrate with the outreach and
SalesLoft.
Oh, awesome. So you even integrate with competitors because competitors don't have data, right? The big thing to mention, guys, like outreach and SalesLoft, we love them. They're listed on our marketplace. They're outreach tools. They don't have data. A lot of the times companies need to go buy a ZoomInfo to use outreach and SalesLoft. So with Apollo, you kind of have that all in one where you don't have to have a separate vendor, more bills to manage, more upselling, right? So it's kind of just less relationships sometimes is smoother in the software world, right?
Yeah, specifically very relevant in today's market where a lot of teams are looking to consolidate, reduce cost. So you're not only increasing efficiency by reducing the amount of tools, but you're also reducing cost by just utilizing one platform instead of 2 or 3 different platforms to do a go-to-market function.
Yeah, that's why we've continued to use it, by the way. It's because of that. That's a pain point for me, right? It's and I've seen you guys evolve and get better and better. But for me, as a CEO, it's really hard navigating multiple software companies, multiple platforms, multiple upsells. And it's easy to kind of, I think for me, work with fewer vendors. But if you're listening to this and you love having multiple vendors, then do that approach, right? Everyone has a different way of going to market. And what I like and what Andre likes selling, you like, right? So you want to have ZoomInfo and you want to have everything else, go for it. If you rather have less vendors, Apollo is definitely something good to look at for sure.
Yeah, it definitely reduces the complexity.
Awesome. So talk to me a little bit about, you got this open. I'm going to let you go, right? I get excited because I know this stuff, but I saw some sequences, emails, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of things in here.
So in here, this is where you can create your sequences. No limit to the number of sequences that you can create. No limit to the number of steps. You can A/B test any step within a sequence. You can leverage AI to help you streamline the process of generating emails, personalize all of your emails, everything recorded on your CRM, continue with more follow-ups, phone call tasks, LinkedIn tasks, manual emails. So there's a wide array of different steps that you can take within a sequencing tool. But I think the most amazing part about this is when you have the data and the engagement, you're going to be able to run a lot of automation. You're going to be able to automatically add contacts from lists into sequences. We can automatically create plays that will create account lists of companies that are researching your intent topics. We can automatically create tasks for your SDRs after there's an intent signal with a specific account. If someone has engaged with any of your emails, we can automate that. We can automatically hit you inbounds, hit no-shows. So there's a wide array of templates that you can set up to automate a lot of your go-to-market.
I haven't even looked into this. I'm not going to lie. It's exciting. But basically, if everybody listening, a lot of people know what a sequence is, right? And for those who know what it is, it's a series of sales outreach steps, right? For those who don't, sequences are just step-by-step play of what channel, what message to whom over time. It could be, email on day 1, phone call day 2, LinkedIn like on day 4, right? And then what Andres is saying is that based on a signal, let's just say that you're like a recruitment company and you're wanting to sell to people who have job openings. If a new job opening is detected, it can automatically create a task for that SDR, and it can automate the reach out or make it personal. That's kind of what you're saying, basically, so that you can use the data within one platform to take action faster, and speed matters.
Correct.
Cool. Yeah, I'm excited to use that feature.
Yeah, this is actually my favorite, and RevOps and SalesOps, they love it because they can streamline a lot of processes for their sales team. So they spend more time actually engaging with contacts and prospects instead of like building lists and cleaning lists. We can automatically do that for you.
Yeah, this way, like SDRs could spend more time having conversations and learning and getting coached on calls, right? Because the more lists they build, the more data, the less conversations they're having. Harder to train, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
So,
you got all these plays, right? So everybody listening, if you're going to check out Apollo, you can click the link below and download a free trial. I think they give 50 credits per month and they have an awesome product-led growth model where they let you use the product, use the credits. Anybody who's an Apollo expert that didn't know this feature was there, I reach out to your customer success rep, get some training, and get going on playbooks.
Dang, I need you on my calls.
I use the product. Transparently, we have a lot of website traffic. We have a lot of inbound business, right? But we are going to be using this more and more as our proprietary marketplace just went live, and we're going to push it. So that's why I get excited seeing this, because I know now that I have a tool that just keeps on evolving. Remember, I've been using Apollo since 2017, back when you guys were Zen Prospect, and I was working with Roy Chung. I don't know what happened to Roy Chung, but if Roy's listening to this, hope you're doing well.
Yeah, he is. And there's obviously been tremendous growth since then, like 4 series rounds of funding, over $240 million in funding. So the product's only going to get better.
Yeah, 100%.
Yep.
What's next? This can go on forever.
It could. I want to do a couple of sneak peeks into our 2 latest features.
Awesome.
Just meetings. You're going to be able to set up your own team's own meetings, book meetings on their own calendar. We have inbound router, so you can embed our meetings feature within your website, within a landing page, and we can distribute those leads that are coming to your AEs or to your SDRs, depending on how you want to go about it. So this is something that was recently released. And this is just another play of getting more of the go-to-market functionality all into one platform.
That's actually pretty awesome. So you guys are just continuing to make an all-in-one sales engagement platform with the data. I love it.
Correct. And then the nice thing is, because we have the data, we could automatically enrich those form submissions so that people don't have to put all these, different fields, which may reduce the conversion rate. Just with an email, we can enrich the rest.
All the time. He asks questions like, what year was founded? I'm like, we don't need to know what year was founded. We can just use Apollo to enrich it, right? So Tony, if you're listening, and Danny Almado, my CTO, we can make our forms super easy to fill out, first name, email address, and enrich any data point we have. And this is a big deal because the more questions you ask on forums, the more drop off you have. And why are you asking these questions if it's already in Apollo?
Correct.
That's my philosophy. I hope they're listening.
And if you are an Apollo customer or user, just make sure to ask your customer success manager to put you to enable this feature, because it's recently been released, and happy to walk anyone through it as well.
Awesome.
Yep. And then the other sneak peek is our conversation intelligence. So you're going to be able to record your calls, get transcripts of your calls, of your virtual meetings via Zoom, Google Meets, whatever the case may be. We're going to be able to highlight objections, pain points that were mentioned, key topics that were discussed within the call.
It's a little bit like a chorus and gong, right, to the platform. So they keep saying this, but instead of spending 20, 30 grand with chorus and gong, you get it right within your Apollo license.
Correct. And
Value-led growth. You guys are pioneer in product-led growth. Now it's value-led growth. I like it.
That's right. Yep. And that's Apollo in a nutshell. We could go deeper into every single feature, but I think that gives a high level overview.
Go deeper in different episodes, right? But for the purpose of this episode on our Transform Sales podcast, software seller review, it's a general overview. You guys have a really intricate. I hate saying this, but you guys are. I'd like to get some IPO shares. Let's put it that way. I think you guys. I'm eager to support you guys. I love seeing where you're going. I have non-biased love for all software sellers, but others, some I use, some I just can't, and I'm excited to see. The product grow, but I'm also excited to see awesome Latin American talent. Right, like one of the biggest things that I talk about in our marketplace is how you can hire Latin Americans, save capital, and get great talent. So if anybody watching, Andres is not a person who was in our marketplace, but a great example of an account executive who, whether you were in New York City or San Francisco, you were awesome and you did a great job. And I think people should start learning that there are just amazing talent like yourself in Latin America. And that's the only plug I will do for the marketplace on this show. Andres, thank you so much for being here. Where can people connect with you if they want to learn more? Obviously, if you guys see the link below, that is the link directly to to Apollo. You could sign up for free. You get the credits for a month. But if anybody wants to kind of be a little bit more intimate, pick your brain, learn more, where can they find you and connect with you?
Yeah, they can find me on LinkedIn, Andres Angulo, and I'm pretty active there. So happy to answer any questions, happy to guide people through the product or just talk about go-to-market, sales.
People help people make money, right? I'm like, let's call it as it is. Andres is a revenue making specialist, specializes in operating heavy revenue operational machinery. Andres, this has been awesome. Everybody who has been listening, thank you for tuning in to the Transform Sales Podcast, our software seller series. And I hope you guys enjoyed this first episode of Apollo. There will be many more because the product is going to keep on growing. And we want to help people find about the new advances, the new features, so that we give you a mouthpiece for you guys to let the audience know. Thank you and take care.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You too.